everyone, it's Coach Androsa here with 310 Nutrition, joining for another recipe video, another live. Let me know as you guys start joining. I'm gonna try to comment as much as I can here. I have my laptop open so I can see. But here today we have a protein cheesecake, like a no baking required protein cheesecake recipe. This one was actually by request. So one of you guys out there wanted to see a cheesecake recipe, so that's what we'll be doing today. Pretty simple, but let me know as you guys start joining so I can see. Oh, yeah, I can see something. Oh, hi, Jia. Good evening. Good to see you. So this is basically what we're going to be making today, a protein cheesecake recipe. Then I'll be going over some of the ingredients and then answering some of the questions and seeing how you guys are doing, maybe any struggles or anything coming up during the December Dash Challenge, so I can answer some of those. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. Welcome. So today's recipe is going to be posted up again on the 310 community page, so make sure to check it out there. We'll link all the recipe and like a little description on one pager to print out, and so you guys can have if you're interested in making this recipe the next time. But today's going to be a very basic cheesecake recipe. You can always make a lot of adjustments. With this recipe, you're going to see that you can add fruits, you can add nuts, you can add chocolate chips. They have a bunch of options, right, that you can do here. Hi, Wendy. Nice to see you. So, yeah, as you guys start joining, just say hi and checking in while I just start prepping this here. So this recipe is it's a cheesecake recipe. You basically just cool it in the fridge. That's all really going to require for like for any preparation. What I did do is leave the cream cheese out. So this is a cream cheese based recipe because it's a cheesecake. I went for a light cream cheese. So this is what I have: the Philadelphia, third, less fat. So this is going to be a moderate amount of fat and carbohydrates, mostly from the cream cheese and the graham crackers. If you that's optional if you want at the bottom. That's what I did for these here. I made two versions, so you can see that these are from like a cupcake muffins, so tins. So I made them here like in a visual bite size, and then I also made some in mason jars, like this. I found that the mason jars is gonna be the simplest one, the easiest one to put together. But I'll show you guys how I did those at the end. Cheesecake. Hi, Shia. Hi, welcome everyone. So starting with the cream cheese here. Big fan of cream cheese. I mostly like these on bagels. I mean, let me know if you guys have any other ways you use your cream cheese, but mostly I use mine on bagels. So this is it's gonna be an interesting twist for a dessert. Almond flour instead of crackers. Yeah, definitely balancing. You can definitely use flour. You can use nuts. You can use something if you're trying to reduce your carbs, trying to stay lower carbohydrate. You can always substitute the graham crackers for something else, like a nut or a nut flour. So good option. So all I did was let my cream cheese sit out to soften, and you can use a stand mixer. I actually recommend you using one of those. I don't have one with me. I just have this hand whisker, so that I'm going to be whisking with this. And I will have, I'll just be using the hand whisk, and it helps out if you leave this soften out. So that's what I did about 30 minutes before. I left my cream cheese to soften out. I am missing the Greek yogurt. Let me grab that one. So the Greek yogurt's it's a plain Greek yogurt, as you see here, and this is going to add, of course, more protein, high quality protein to your cheesecake. So that's always a great option. This one you can substitute as well. If you're not a big fan of Greek yogurt, you can always substitute this for cottage cheese or ricotta cheese. And I put those in the handout so you guys can check out. But what this recipe calls for is half a cup of the Greek yogurt. So I'll be adding that here using my measuring cup. And I found that the ingredients don't have to be perfect. So if you don't have a measuring cup for this recipe, you should be okay. It's mostly cream cheese, Greek yogurt, and your protein powder. So you're going to see that the exact amount of the ingredients doesn't really matter a whole lot. What you're just looking for is a thicker, like cream cheese mixture consistency. That's what you want to get here. So all I have is a bowl here and a whisk, and I'm just gonna start mixing that up, like so. So next one here we have is lemon. So I just got a lemon here. This recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So lemon, the citrus is what gives it that it cuts that creamy flavor, and it makes it taste like a cheesecake. So definitely I've tried it both ways, with the lemon and without, and I have to say with the lemon it does give it that unique cheesecake taste. So definitely would recommend you add the lemon. So I'm just gonna add 1. I found out it was about half a lemon, so I just cut this in half and I just put about half a lemon in here. That's about 1 tablespoon. Hi, Barbara. Oh, no worries. You're not late at all. We're just getting started. We're going to be making a protein cheesecake. No baking required here. But that's what we'll be doing today. Pretty simple. So far, I have the cream cheese in here, the Greek yogurt for the extra protein. This actually, one serving of this protein cheesecake has 20 grams of protein in 1 serving. So, and it's only like 300 calories. So it's a really good dessert, really good option for you guys. If you guys have a stand mixer, definitely recommend using that, because it's gonna be this part right here mixing is gonna be a lot faster. Okay, so I got started on mixing that. Next, I have some vanilla extract, so I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of this one. This one I do wanna make sure I measure this one correctly. Hi Maria, welcome. So 1 teaspoon. And that's all I had. Actually, just ran out of my vanilla extract. And this is a lot of vanilla. So you're going to see that I'm going to be using the 310 vanilla protein powder. You can use this is the vanilla cream. I know there's another just basic vanilla. But either one, I mean, all you're looking for is a vanilla flavor. So you can always switch it up if you're a big fan of chocolate, peppermint, something else. Always switch up. You can always choose different flavor for your cheesecake. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start mixing this. Hi Nancy, welcome. So it's a little difficult with this whisk. This is a plastic one. What I ended up doing was using a fork to really whisk it away. So that's what I'm gonna end up doing here. So just recommend you do find a big, larger bowl, because this can be kind of messy. Mostly when your cream cheese is a bit cold, it's still gonna get hard and it's gonna be hard to mix. Okay, so that's pretty mixed in there. Next, I'm gonna be adding the 310 vanilla cream powder, and I'll just be using 1 scoop. I tried a scoop and a half when I was making this recipe, and it came out too dry, and it was too strong. So half a scoop to a scoop. I found the scoop is a kind of like a nice milk brown. That's what I'm gonna be adding to this. Is just the right amount. So you get the vanilla taste, and you're getting the benefits of the high quality protein, making this a really high protein dessert. All the micronutrients in there, and slowly just add in your scoop. So as you guys see, I'm just mixing this up, making sure it's all mixed together. Make sure there's nothing dry in there. Everything's incorporated together. Like so. All right, guys. So next is the sweetness. So for me, I like the more straightforward cheesecake, creamy taste. Like I prefer the texture and the creaminess of the cheesecake. But if you're looking for something more similar to a traditional cheesecake, where it's a lot sweeter, you can substitute that sweetness for normal sugar, cane sugar, for a stevia. So I'm gonna be using just half a little packet of this stevia, and measured it's about half a teaspoon, because 1 packet is 2 grams. So about half half a teaspoon or less of the stevia leaf. This is going to give you a really good sweetness. If you're looking for a sweet dessert, this is it. That's all you need, honestly. In my opinion, the sweetness from the 310 vanilla powder is enough sweetness. But for those sweet tooths out there, if you're a big sweet tooth and you want something to hit that craving after a meal, or when it's that time of day you want something sweet, go ahead and do that. And of course, there's plenty of substitutes out there. There's the monk fruit, there's the agave, the blue agave. A lot of substitutes you can do with this too. Truvia, yeah, Valentine, good option too. Truvia, whatever substitute you want to use, go ahead and do that. Or you can just opt out the the sweetness, because in my opinion, like I said, the sweetness from just the protein powder is enough. Wendy, I made chocolate peppermint balls today. They're so delicious. I'm glad you liked them, Wendy. Yeah, that's another great one. I finished mine up. Actually last week. I ran out of all my all my treats. Great little desserts. Okay. So there we go. Just incorporate that, making sure there's no powder, because on the sides you might see some powder left over from the protein powder. So I'm just making sure I mix that really well. Okay, so now I'm gonna set this aside. This is the cream cheese part of the cheesecake. And now what I'm gonna do is make the base. So I'm gonna use these graham crackers for the base. So as you see here on my mason jars, I have a little bit of graham cracker crust at the bottom. So all I did was added one whole graham cracker to the bottom of this and started crushing it up. So I'll tell you what I did for the mason jar. If you want to do the individual cupcake style like this, I can see myself using caramel instead of vanilla. Yum. Yeah, caramel is another great one too. Any flavors, I'm sure it'll come out delicious. But for these here, you see how the bottom of the cheesecake has the crust. I did mix in 1 little tablespoon of coconut oil. I mixed that up. So all I did is crush up 2 graham crackers, actually 3 graham crackers with 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. And then I made sure the coconut oil was running. And then when I laid it out in the tins here, in the tray for the individual cupcakes, it was able to hold together. So I don't really think it's necessary to put the coconut oil when you're doing the mason jars like this. But when you're doing the cupcakes, you do want to put a little bit of coconut oil or some type of oil, so it can kind of hold together. You can use a little bit of butter, just whatever type of oil to kind of hold it together. Okay, so that's on the base. So for my recipe, for this one today, I'm going to be using the mason jars. So I'm going to show you guys how I did that. It's a great treat. Yeah, and I'm thinking of actually making a few of these and giving them out, to family like over the weekend, because I'm gonna have a bunch of cheesecake. I've made like 2 batches of this already, so I need to start giving some out. So this is a great little gift. I mean, you can store these up. They store really nicely. You can pack them up. So the mason jar for me is like the way to go. This is a really nice option. So all I'm gonna do, open these up, and these are half a pint. Let's see. What size were these here? I think it was half a pint. Well, there's just some small, really small mason jars. As you can see here, I'll have to make sure I show you guys what the size is. It says here 6 ounces, so I think this is the half a pint. But 6 ounce mason jar, that's what I'm gonna be using. So all I do is use my fingers. I'll use my fingers in the graham cracker, 1 whole graham cracker, and just start breaking it up and putting it in the jar. So it's hard to show from here. I just want to make sure you guys can see. Let's see, maybe if I can move a little bit to the side. I just use my fingers and just pinch it. I just pinch the graham cracker. Actually pretty fun if you have kids, if somebody's you have small children or grandchildren. This is a really fun little thing to do with kids, because you're feeling all the textures and doing all this cooking. This is why I love cooking, is because of growing up with my grandma and the recipes and things she used to teach me. So yeah, so you're just gonna be using your fingers just to pinch the graham cracker, and it takes a little bit of time. And whatever you don't break up all the way, don't worry. You can use a spoon and just break it up at the bottom. That's what I did here. So that's what I'm doing. And if you like bigger chunks, go ahead. You just break it up in larger chunks. So this is where it gets really fun and creative. You can put your bottom base, right? Your graham cracker base. This recipe is good for 2. So 2 little mason jars will be completely filled up all the way. If you have more layers, put more fillings of fruits, another graham cracker layer, you're gonna have more filling for your cheesecake. You can put it in a baggie and let the kids pound it back. Definitely, Karen. That's actually a good one too. I should have thought of that, but it feels like it's really nicely proportioned when you use 1 graham cracker. So if you're going for the exact ingredients for the nutrition ingredients for this recipe, it works out when you just use 1 graham cracker at a time for each one. But yeah, you can use a little baggie, put them in and crush them. So now all I'm gonna be doing is grabbing a spoon. I found it's easier with a spatula or a spoon. I'm just using a metal spoon and scooping up one nice little mound and layering it in there. So just like so. Of course, if you want to make it look pretty, press it down all the way to the bottom, like so. So you see here, it's my first layer. It was kind of like a tablespoon and a half that I've added in there. So each jar should have about 2 ounces of the cheesecake filling. So I have the graham cracker base, then I put the cheesecake in the middle. What I did with some of these is added some blueberries. So you can add some blueberries. I have little Lily's mint chocolate chips. So you can definitely add some mint chocolate chips too. Let me know what flavors, what kind of toppings you guys would want to try, and so I can get ideas. Maybe you guys can post it up too, so I can get more ideas for the rest of the filling and the rest of the stuff that I have, and for the rest of the people here too. Barbara. Okay, so let me just do that. I'm gonna add a few of the chocolate chips to the middle here. If I can open this bag. So just a tiny amount, just like 5 or 6 little chocolate chips, just to give it some flavor. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more of the cheesecake filling. Cherries, nice, yeah, cherries. All the berries. I think any berries added to these cheesecakes would sound. It'd be delicious. Right? Any type of strawberry, blackberry, blueberries, cherries, whatever you like. So once you fill it up all the way to the top, put the lid back on. The cheesecake filling is sitting at the room temperature. Strawberries, yeah, strawberries would probably be my favorite. I don't have any strawberries, but that would probably be my my topping if I had it. But these are at room temperature. So what you want to do is put them in the fridge. All it really needs is like 30 minutes, half an hour to an hour. I let it sit there, and it just gets nice and cold, and kind of holds its texture, holds it together. What I did for these here, Barbara says cherries, blueberries, peanut butter, delicious. Nice, yeah. That peanut. I'm a big fan of peanut butter, so yeah, that's probably one I'm gonna make for myself. So what I would do with the tray, these little cupcake and visual ones, is add your base with the graham cracker and the coconut oil, like I mentioned. You can put it in the fridge with just the graham cracker to harden it up a little bit. I think I put it in just like 30 minutes, just in the freezer, actually, for 30 minutes, just so it can get nice and hard at the bottom. And then I scooped in my cheesecake filling. After I did that, you can put your little toppings on top, little blueberries, strawberries, whatever you like. you put it back in the fridge, just the refrigerator for another 20-30 minutes just to kind of hold its shape together. And then you can go ahead and pop them out. I use a little spatula just to like cut around, like just hold, like just get the shape of the little cupcake around it, and it popped right out. So as long as you're using the coconut oil at the bottom with the graham crackers, it should not stick. So that's how I did these here. Well, that's about it. That is how I made these protein cheesecakes. And they're, I mean, they're delicious. I've already had one, and the one, like I was telling you guys, the one with the lemon. Don't forget to add your lemon. This is really gives it that citrusy, like it cuts that creamy taste that you want, that you're looking for, like in a cheesecake. So we're just, yeah, you can use this as a dessert, right? This is a really nice. I'm just thinking these are like nice little gifts, little treats. And then you can mention how it's a healthier version of cheesecake. Because the taste, like I'm telling you, I'm gonna try one of these that I had in the fridge. The taste is very similar. If you're a cheesecake fan, it might not be exactly perfectly how you envision cheesecake to be, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close, and the graham crackers really help. So yeah, really good. Of course, Wendy. Yeah, I love making these treats and making up new recipes. So like I said, this one has so much so much variety. You can modify this in so many ways, from the toppings to the Greek yogurt. A lot of ways to make this, to modify this. And Violet, can you put up the handout, the recipe we have on there? Just wanted to show you guys what you're going to be looking for on the 310 community page. Just so you guys can see, it's the typical handouts I've been making, the one pagers. You could go ahead and print this out so you can have like a step-by-step and have all the ingredients there. But the total, like I was telling you, the total amount of protein in one little mason jar of this protein cheesecake is 20 grams. So you can even use this as a like a really solid snack. That's actually how I had it the day before yesterday when I was playing around with the recipe. I just had it as a snack, and it was really filling. It was a really filling snack because it's going to be really high in protein. The cream cheese is a little bit higher in fat, but it's just like a 300 calorie snack, so it's not bad at all. The sugar was the highest amount of sugar, like added sugars you'll get, is from the graham crackers. So if you want to make any substitution or you're okay with a little bit of added sugars, you can do that. Okay, thank you. So there's you go. There's the handout you guys can look out for. There's some notes at the bottom for some swaps you can make. Some benefits, like I was telling you guys on the side, the lower sugars, higher protein, no baking required. This is a really simple thing you can make without any baking. So yeah, and at the bottom you'll see it's 345 calories for one little mason jar of this protein cheesecake. So if you're adding other fruits, other toppings, the recipe is, or the nutrition facts is for one with 1 graham cracker. So that's what I included in there. So definitely take into account anything else you're adding for toppings. But a great treat for you guys. So yeah, look out for that. Post your recipes, post your desserts, or if you're recreating any of these. I mean, I can see a lot of you guys are posting up your meals, but make sure to tag me and make sure you're adding meat so I can see what you've made. And because it feels it's great to see you guys making a lot of these recipes and helping each other out and finding new ways to use these 310 protein powders for different things, and stay on track and making sure you're losing weight and you're reaching your goals that you're meant to to reach, right? So keep sending us emails too. I can see that there's a lot of emails coming in for plateaus and weight loss plateaus, because that tends to happen over time. So if there's any questions specifically on nutrition, that side of things, let me know. So yeah, and that was okay. Yeah, that was all for the recipe. I wanted to open it up to any questions about this or any challenges you've been going through with 310 so far. Yes, thank you everyone for coming by and supporting. So I'm just gonna open it up. If there's no questions, I'm gonna ask, yeah, if you guys can leave comments. If there's anyone watching this replay, make sure you just leave your comments. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Trying to stay active with you all, you guys in the 310 community page. Thank you all. I think that is all. Yeah, that's all. That's all for today. Thank you guys all for watching. Maria, hot shake. Yeah, we'll try to look into that one next. Haven't made any hot shakes. That's another one. The hot chocolate. I mean, just the basic one. I've seen a lot of people making the hot chocolate with the chocolate protein and just some water, some almond milk. Really easy shake, but yeah, there's a lot of good things a lot of interesting things you guys can make. Happy holidays to you too, Valentine. Thank you guys for tuning in and stopping by. Hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Maybe you're making some recipes for friends and family these holidays. It's always great to to do things that nourish yourself, but that helps others too. Because I'm sure you're not the only one out there. As you guys can see, there's a big community. There's a lot of people going through similar struggles, similar things that you're going through. So sharing and posting things up on the 310 community page always is really helpful. Maybe not for you or for you immediately at the moment, but I'm sure someone else is looking at that and getting help, in some way or another. So, all right, guys. Well, that's all I have for today. I'm gonna finish up these last few little mason jars and finish these up so I can give these out because I have too many. I have too much treats here. But thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys.